it's your girl Nia J.
And Pamela and Nicole.
And we are back with another episode of Dynasty
Dynasty Queens.
I'm so excited.
Yes, it's been a little bit, so we are back at it. But before we get into it, I did want to go ahead and shout out our sponsor, Social Media Blast Off. If you're really trying to just maximize everything you can with your social media, your platforms, whether it's X, Threads, Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, you name it. We do music platforms as well, guys. If you're looking to do that, Social Media Blast Off is the place to be. So if you're ready to go ahead and get everything going for the maximization of your social media, go ahead and scan that QR code right here. Go to socialmediablastoff.net, save 40%, and get your stuff going.
Ow.
Oh, you know. Oh, baby girl.
Girl, we
Baby
have
girl.
so much to catch up on.
I
Okay.
know.
So, old girl, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Old girl.
Mm-hmm.
Shall I say less? Krishan just had her baby, y'all.
Yes.
Krishan had her baby. And of course, we know all the hoopla and stuff that her and Blueface have been going through for whatever the past couple of years, their whole little saga, their toxic love story, if you will. But, friend, what did you just hear? Like, give me the scoop of what you just heard about Krishan, like, just the other day.
Baby. So, according to the Shade Room, Miss Krishan Rock has already started Krishan Malone Jr.'s Instagram account. There's already the email for booking for the baby at 2 days old. And of course, baby daddy had a lot to say about that. He was going in, talking about, oh, so you're going to go ahead and have him bookings already at 2 days old. He already has an Instagram account at 1 day old. Like, what are you doing? But I couldn't be in the delivery room. Whew, that's a lot of tea. So,
girl, that is absolutely crazy. Like, just think about it. Like, come on now, Blueface. First of all, the girl's career was built off of that extra, like getting the clip, if you will, doing whatever it takes to make sure that you make that network television episode, you know what I'm saying, where the producer's like, okay, let's make sure this stays. So, I mean, I understand her mindset of like, okay, let's get to the back. But realistically, what is the baby going to be booking? Like, let's think about it. What kind of gigs will the baby?
Just sitting there.
Gerber commercial? Or are we talking like, what is it?
And it just brings me to that point of like, it's very stage momish. You feel me?
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, so you're literally like pimping out your kid already, and they're barely breathing. You know what I'm saying?
Barely breathing, girl.
Like,
the baby was out of the womb for like a few minutes.
Right.
A few minutes. Okay. And like Krishan's like, okay, business mind. But I get it. You know why I get it?
Why do you get it?
Who is the most infamous stage mom? And then we can take it a lot of different places because there's a lot of different places conversation can go. But who is like that stage mom that you would be like, yeah, she was a pimp.
Like pimp my kids?
Who?
The infamous Kris Jenner.
Absolutely. Kris Jenner, guys, like, come on now. First question, do y'all think that sex tape, was it leaked? Was it leaked? We know it was leaked, right?
That was staged.
Is it even a question?
That was staged. Like, I am fully 100% thinking that it was staged. Because, you had, like you said, the Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee situation. Right when, not even social media, but when the internet was starting to come around and things were getting leaked here and things were getting leaked there, it's like, oh, Pamela Anderson can do it. So can my daughter.
Exactly. Because she was like the first one that kind of like led into the whole sex tape situation or whatever. And I feel like Kris Jenner took it upon herself because at the time, Paris Hilton was the girl that was popping. She had the show with Nicole Richie and all that. And we know Kim Kardashian was her sidekick. She was her closet
actually. She was her stylist.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I feel like the mother was thinking, she had a business mind and she was like, you know what? My daughter's beautiful. I have all these girls that I can capitalize off of in this millennial age of sex sex, drugs, rock and roll that
True.
really transgressed over time into what we have now. You know, sex sells. It's everywhere. So Kris Jenner, she really, I think she tapped in early in this whole craze of what it is now. And look at them. They're billionaires, right? Most
Yes.
of them.
All of them, really.
All, well, except the boy was, bless his heart.
Robert Kardashian.
He had a sock line. Okay, guys. Rob Kardashian had a sock line. I remember. I can recall that. But besides that,
That's all we know about him because I don't even think he does socials. Honestly, I've never
I have
really
no
seen him.
idea. I
So
really don't know.
that's
That's
crazy.
interesting, though. Like, you would really think. Now, okay. So, when it comes to the stage mom persona, if
Hmm.
you will, what defines a stage mom and what defines a pimp? Like, what is it?
Different.
What clearly by definition or like by action, what defines, okay, this person is fully pimping their child, like doing whatever it takes to make a buck,
Mhm.
regardless of the kid's feelings, right?
Right,
Versus the
right.
child who wants to get into the industry, who wants to entertain, who wants, to be the center of attention. I feel like that's the deciding factor. What do you think about that?
I definitely think so too. There's definitely that fine line. So like with the good stage mom, if you will, like I think
Yeah,
of like the gymnasts and like athletes. The best interest probably 80% of the time is the child and their future. They're getting
right.
all these endorsements and sponsorships that are helping. So it's not really like the parents are pimping or coming out of pocket or having to like rummage for money because they already have everything set, like with, like sponsorships like Adidas, Nike, stuff like that, versus what's the next fad. And let me see if my daughter or my son or whatever my child is down for the cause and just to reap the benefits later on in life. So that's where that line is drawn, where it's more of a selfish thing versus a selfless thing.
I understand what you're saying. However, I do feel that some sports parents also can be extremely, extremely pushy,
Mm,
extremely demanding of their children, almost like military fathers or mothers. But on the contrary, though, like with Venus and Serena, because I watched that movie about their life that came out. I think whoever was it, Tyler Perry, somebody produced it. I don't know.
mm,
The movie that came about Venus and Serena. You really see their father really push them really hard.
yeah,
Even when they didn't want to do it, he was like, "Nah, you got to get up. You got to get to that tennis court." You know what I'm saying? Practice, practice,
exactly.
practice, practice. That was his thing. But they are super mega successful because of
Mm,
their father's, efforts.
yeah,
He's
it's more
on
like
the potential.
dedication, honestly. Like.
So what is the deciding? Because obviously we have stage fathers too. A sports
Mm,
dad is a stage dad. It's the same thing. Because with sports and athletics, if you're the best at what you do, you are going to be a celebrity. Point blank. Period. There's no
facts.
way around it. You know what I'm saying? So it all kind of falls into the same spectrum. They are very pushy stage moms, and they're very pushy sports dads as well.
Hmm.
But what is that thin line like? What makes it malicious
Gotcha.
versus good intent? I have a really good example of a stage dad, Joe Jackson.
Very true.
Hello,
Yeah.
Joe Jackson, right? I mean, think about it. At the same time, compare Joe Jackson to like a Matthew Knowles. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Who
yeah,
could have,
yeah.
who is also a force to be reckoned with, but it was for the betterment of his daughter in the group. On the
Very
other
true.
hand, Joe Jackson was beating them kids, right?
Right, right, right.
I don't
So
know. It's like, what's that fine line? What do you
it's
think that fine line is?
this is so hard to say, and the reason I say it's so hard to say is you're looking at two totally different generations of people and like how they function and like I mean I don't know like how it was like back when our parents were younger and like
Yeah,
during that time it could have been a lot different as far as getting that fame, getting there to that, to, the extremes were more so versus now this is more of like a virtual type um, generation. So things kind of come easier, but it's still messed up the way that people,
yeah,
exploit their
for sure.
kids.
Yeah, I agree with you. Um, there's a lot of different factors that do play a part into how each generation of stage mom or stage dad is gonna, develop.
Right.
Another one that I've heard was a really good stage dad was like Zendaya's father.
I can see
Someone who was
that.
supportive, who always made sure their daughter was on set on time. I feel like I said, if it's your kid's passion to be in the entertainment industry and they're like, Mom, Dad, I want to go to all these castings and please, yada, 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 I want to do this,
Yeah.
that. And they are expressing their dreams and their desires to you. By all means, listen to your kids. Please don't try to discourage them and tell them, oh, that's not for us. We're just regular folks. That's not what we do.
Mm-mm.
Don't do that to your kids. Don't ever discourage them from doing anything that they want to do. Because just because you felt you couldn't do it doesn't mean there's not an outlet or a way to get it done. So
Right.
I do feel kids are coming to their parents and begging, like, hey, I want my shot. I want to get my chance to make it. Then that's different than a person who's being extremely pushy to a kid who doesn't want to do it.
You know what? And I was just mentioning different generations of things. I feel like we're going into we're right on the cusp of the new generation of all these little influencers that are growing up in middle school, elementary school,
Yeah.
influencers that are independent. Some of them do
Mhm.
have like the parents that are like the stage parents, and that are like
Right.
kind of helicopter parenting and watching everything they do on socials and everything. But I'm sure there's other ones there that are just kind of like, do your thing. You know what you're doing. You want to do this. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like as the decades have progressed, it's getting more to where people are becoming children or becoming more independent with things. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely, for sure. Another one that I want to mention, I think that's a really good example of how it all went really bad. And a lot of our younger viewers may not know what we're talking about, but the Jean Benet, remember Jean Benet Ramsey?
Girl, I was just thinking about that. Yes.
You know,
Little
I mean,
Dominic
there's a
Ramsey.
lot to say about that one because she was Little Miss, whatever, beauty queen.
Yes.
She had the stage mom, and she had her father, and it was all the speculation of who killed her or whatever. So I
And it's
do feel,
still,
I don't know, look, I wasn't there. I don't know all the facts. I don't know what happened to the child, but I do know based on what I've heard in the movie that I saw that her mother was not the kindest to her, and she really did force, because how is a very small child going to tell you, hey, mommy, I want to be in pageants. I want to do this,
mm,
I mean, I don't know. That's a whole nother like toddlers and tiara type of situation.
yeah, yeah.
But I don't know. I just feel that if the parents were in any way responsible, it would just really go to show how bad it can go
Oh, for
with the
sure.
stage mom and the stage kid, relationship.
It's all about control. Like I really realize like a lot of these like docu series that they do about, the parents. There's something that's just off here, and there's also that like sense of control that they have to control every aspect of their child's life. It's like an extension of them that they weren't able to like fulfill. You know what I
That's
mean?
definitely, a lot of it is psychological. A lot of those stage moms, they may have wanted to be, that beauty queen or that television personality or that actress, and they force the child like Brooke Shields, But
Yeah.
I heard she had a really good relationship with her mom. But I know they're really better at doing it now. But back in the day, kids were exploited. I ain't gonna lie. Even if you
Mhm.
listen to like some of the R&B groups from like the 90s, like the Drew Hills and um, these people were underage. The Drew
Yeah.
Hills, the, SWBs singing about
Mhm.
sex and boys spending the night and stuff. Y'all like 15, 16 years old. Monica singing like a grown ass woman. When today that
Right.
would be like, what is going on?
On.
Should we call the, Me Too movement? Like, what's happening here?
You know
Mind you, R. Kelly was writing a lot of that stuff too.
that.
And other industry execs who I feel just haven't been exposed, but that's a whole nother topic. But
Yeah.
yeah, I just feel like kids in the industry for so long were exploited. They
Exactly.
were really exploited, you
And
know?
it's like talking about the kids in the '90s, like especially like music and stuff, like you're saying. Think about another major corporation that has had a lot of their stars as young kids have issues. And what corporation do you think I'm talking about?
Who've had their stars have issues, like
Like
actresses, the acting
one
society.
it's one major channel. I'll give you a
Oh,
hint.
the Disney.
Ah, you already know, girl. Yes.
Is that where you're
Yes.
going with it? Yeah.
hmm
Ooh.
How many Disney kids can you just think of right on the top of your head that have had issues? And it's always kind of generalized with their parents.
Yeah.
You know
A
what I
lot of the
mean?
time. A lot of the time. I forgot, way back in the day, the reason I forgot what it's called when kids enter the Actors Guild,
hmm
there is a protection plan that is to protect them from their own parents. So it's their own. What is it called? It's called a something account where all of the money that they make before they're 18 goes into this special account. And then either when they turn 18 or 21, they have access to the funds. And it's named after a child star from back in the 30s. He was like Little Rascals or something, who was, quite honestly, he was really taken advantage of by his own parents.
Oh,
They dried him up for everything. When he was of age, he was like, oh, yeah, get into the bag, calling them, going up to the bank. There's
that's
no money to be
awful.
found. Yeah.
That's
So
awful.
I think it's like a Gruber. It's like a Gruber account, or it's called something like that.
Uh-huh.
So those kids are supposed to be protected,
Well, thank
from their
God.
parents.
Yeah, thank God for that.
But there's still situations where, a kid is a kid. They don't know what to look at in a contract.
hmm
You know what I'm saying? So
Very true.
they're at the mercy of their parents, whether they have their best interest at heart or whether they do not. It's really,
Right.
the kid is left at the mercy of the heart and will of their parents.
I agree with that. And it's sad. It really is sad. It's like you have rights, but you don't. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're not old enough to understand your rights. So it
Exactly.
sucks.
Yeah, it really does suck. Because I
Yeah.
know Macaulay Culkin, all of them, they
Oh
had
yeah.
real issues with their parents. Lindsay Lohan was going at it with her mom. Like, remember that?
Oh yeah. With
Her and her
Dina.
mom were like
Mm.
enemies. You hear
That.
me? The
Yeah.
only relationship that I've seen that's worse than that has been with Black China and her mother. That relationship is just like,
Hot mess.
is.
Hot mess.
How do you feel about the reverse of it? The kid who becomes the star first, and then the
Mhm.
celebrity mother is kind of portrayed as like this buffoon character or this,
Right.
dramatized caricature or whatever. How do you feel about? Because it's a couple of them that come to mind, and Black China's mom is just one of them. She comes to mind, but there's several that come to mind. Can you think of any, like those celebrity moms that are just like they're in it for the wrong reasons?
I'm thinking
There's
of
a whole.
what was that little the dance mom, Honey Boo Boo? That's what when you say that, that's what I think of.
Oh yeah, Honey Boo Boo's
Honey Boo
mom.
Boo's mom. That's exactly what
Definitely.
I think of when you say that too. I'm like, okay, no, like it doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't. It
Yeah.
really doesn't.
Or even the parents who are just like down out bad. Like I remember Keisha Cole's mom was just
Oh yeah.
she was just bless her heart, rest her soul. Yeah, I mean, was she exploiting her mother for the views?
I feel like yeah, definitely.
Was it exploitation or was it to draw awareness? Like
I feel like it could have been a little mixture of both. It could have started out as like more of awareness, and then you see what comes with that, and it's like, oh, okay, well, let me keep doing it. Let's keep going. I'm gonna get this bag regardless, so let's keep going. So
exactly.
I feel like that good intent can quickly turn into something really bad, really
Yeah,
quick.
money is involved. I agree. I
hmm
feel money can really kind of
So
persuade people to go a route they never thought
it's the root of all
would
evil,
ever.
girl. It is the root of all evil.
It can
So
be.
yeah.
It absolutely can be. So yeah, that's just another thing to consider is these celebrities who are exploiting these parents who are down and out. Um, Blueface mom.
Girl, That woman, look, the whole family. Ah, I
The
don't
whole
understand.
family.
I don't understand. And it's
I
like bringing
don't.
full circle to Krishan too. They're all crazy. All of them. All of them.
They are all crazy. And apparently that's what the world wants to see.
I just,
Why do you think people are drawn to people who don't have their ish together? What is it about people that have a lot going on in a negative way that reels people in, whether it be fighting on television or remember 16 and pregnant? See, I think like MTV was one of the first networks that really
to
honed
do
into
that. Yes.
people's troubles. But no, no, no. The blueprint was Jerry Springer. When you hone into
Yes.
people's troubles, he was the
Yes.
blueprint, and then MTV, I feel, adopted that. But how do you feel like how do you feel about that? Like that whole little like genre of exploitation of
It's
like
just,
just people down and out. And what is it about that people it draws people in?
I put what you're saying into like perspective with real life too, because people love to watch just crazy stuff. People like the smut. They like all the drama because either one, they don't have the drama in their life. Two, it's literally it's entertaining. And I mean, it is entertainment. It is a form of entertainment. But the way I'm like saying reality is like if someone is in need of help or they, do something, they need something. How many times, 9 times out of 10, do you see people actually helping other people? Nobody's helping. They're watching, they're filming, they're causing more of the drama. So I feel like the reality and the not reality is just it's drama, it's entertainment, and that's what
You're
people
right.
love. You know what I'm saying? Because you just or people just don't want to get involved.
You know what I really think it is, and I agree with what you're saying.
Mhm.
I really think it is the human thing to want to see someone who's doing worse than you. Because a lot of people feel they're not where they want to be in life. So I
Mhm.
feel
That I
the
can agree.
thrill with trash entertainment is, ooh, damn, they're fighting and going through this and that, and
Mhm.
life is horrible. Or remember, like I said, 16 and pregnant, or
Oh
drug
yeah, yeah.
addiction, or hoarders. Those type of networks really capitalized on people who were down and out bad.
Yeah. And
You know what I'm saying?
it's sad.
Or with ailments, all kind of stuff, and either it's that person's doing worse than me, or networks like TLC, they honed into the freak stuff of like, uh, sorry, little people with multiple children, or people with like, octuplets and all this weird freak circus stuff.
Mhm. No, I
So
totally get
again,
it.
it goes to, like the old circus days of, oh, I want to go to the freak show or the circus and see the
Mhm.
bearded lady or the person who, doesn't have, or the crab legs or whatever it is, because you want
Right.
to see someone who is either so odd that it's like, wow, what is that? Or they're down out real bad, worse than you. So
Yeah.
I feel it kind of, the modern day reality television, it kind of derived from that, from the old school freak show, the
Mhm.
circus act. Then it became, the Ricky Lake and the Jerry Springers, like it became the talk show.
Right.
Then it kind of
Right.
transitioned into reality TV, you know?
Yeah,
So
for
I really
sure.
feel like that's where that came from,
And that's just
you know?
crazy.
And
That's
it
it's
is
just
a natural thing for people to be like, ooh, really? You
not
had three kids with your first cousin?
but
Y'all are happily married? Like what? Or Mari. Everybody
oh yeah,
watching the Mari show,
Mari.
and the people running off stage or whatever, like so much just weird stuff that people got going on, or the court shows. It just really goes to
Yes.
show that we really want to see people's drama and mess.
And
We
it's just
want to see their drama and mess.
it's crazy. Yeah, it's sad. And it's almost a sense of, and this is kind of like a psychological thing in the way I think about it, because you mentioned hoarders. It's a way of holding yourself accountable too, because I know personally, if I watch hoarders, I'm cleaning the house. I'm like, oh no, 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 no. We even if it's already
Exactly.
clean, I'm gonna clean it again because it just makes me itch. And I'm like, like there's got too much going on. You know what I mean? So I feel like it is
Yeah,
a way to hold yourself accountable in ways, but it's also
I
entertaining.
definitely agree.
you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Hmm.
Definitely. Um, I mean, it's crazy, it's really crazy. So going back to the Joe Jackson question, or the
Yeah,
whole Joe Jackson like situation with Michael,
yeah.
do you feel that Michael Jackson would have been the greatest entertainer of all time had his father not really been on his behind like he was? We know he had natural talent.
Right, of
Did
course.
he need that extra push, or what was like? Were what's his name, Joe Jackson? Were his
Yeah.
efforts needed? Like, was it necessary to propel Michael to the level of success that he reached, or was it excessive? Was it too much? Like,
I see what you're asking. I think honestly, it was needed. As messed up as that sounds, it was needed to push him, but it could have been he could have backed off some because I feel
he could
like
have backed off a little bit.
it was traumatizing for all of
Yeah.
them, honestly. But for Michael especially, I feel like it was the most traumatizing, and he dealt with the trauma as an adult, and he didn't deal with it in the healthiest ways. You know what I mean?
Do you think that Michael Jackson was exposed to other people in the industry? Did somebody
Oh,
do something to him?
absolutely,
Did
absolutely.
somebody do something inappropriate with this boy when he was a child? Because if you look at like early interviews of him, like in the early 70s or whatever, when he was a kid, he seemed like, okay, he seems to be a happy go lucky child.
Hmm.
And then they say as he gets older, I heard when he actually recorded, what album was that? Thriller or whatever, the one he did
Yeah.
with Quincy Jones, that whenever he recorded, he was like, turn all the lights off in the studio. I don't want anybody looking at me. He's like, I'm so ugly. Turn all the lights off. So
Wow.
he was so insecure about his looks, and his father really bashed him about his physical features, all of them. And if you look, they all got facial reconstruction of some type,
Yes.
nose, lip,
Yes.
whatever it was, cheekbones, whatever they got going on.
Mm-mm-mm.
So, I mean,
You
Joe
know,
Jackson did a lot of good, but he also drilled a lot of negativity into his kids' heads as
it
far
is.
as their physical appearance, as far as self hatred,
Yeah.
wanting to identify less with being black, even though that's what made him the megastar he was.
Right.
Like he was a cool black man with swag. Michael Jackson.
Yes.
He could dance, he could sing,
You
he
do
was the whole package.
everything. Yeah.
He could
Exactly.
do everything. And then he became
The greatest
If
entertainer
you
of
need an
all
example
time.
of the most exploited child star of all time,
It would be him.
shall I say less? Look at what happened.
It's so sad. Like it really just it really hurts me because it sucks. You know.
As
Like,
an adult, it hurts different.
yeah. Because it's like we had talked a while back about the R. Kelly thing and Aaliyah, and it's just like I know
Yeah.
you know me. We've been singing these songs and not thinking anything of what they're saying until you get older, and it's like, what the heck? What
Listen
did
to the
she
lyrics,
say? The
folks.
lyrics, yes.
Listen to the lyrics, folks. Like, what are these people talking about? What is this grown man writing about? How old was she? 14, 15?
Yes.
Just just so uncalled for and so violating. And so the fact that her team or her parents or whoever was managing her didn't call him out on it.
Yeah.
But I know money, sometimes money will really make people do things they never thought they would do, unfortunately.
Yeah. And
So I don't know.
it's
I don't know if
sad.
her parents told her out. Look, if you
Mm.
watch the third installment of what is it, the R. Kelly, whatever it's called.
Oh yeah, you already watched it.
What is it? Catching R. Whatever it's called, the
Yeah,
R.
yeah.
Kelly, the 3-part docu series that you can find on all streaming, pretty much.
Platform.
Um, if you really look at it, the parents on camera crying and this
Oh
and that and
yeah.
like, but how did your daughter get into this man's custody or into his
Yes.
presence or into his
Because
home
they
if
let
they're
him. They
underage?
let them. They let them.
They let them.
Mhm.
And funny thing, a lot of these kids, they weren't just from single mom homes. It was the mom and the dad.
Yes. Especially the
These
last
are
one that
complete.
still hadn't let go of him.
These are
And it's like,
complete families, guys. These aren't girls who came from broken homes. These are
Mm-mm.
kids coming from complete families, mother, father, you know?
Right.
And the father is also allowing their daughter to go off. It says a lot. To me, it says a lot.
It
If
does.
R. Kelly didn't respect the parents, the fathers, how is he going to respect the daughter? Like, your dad is willing to sell you pretty much.
That's
That
right.
is true.
And it's
And
really
that's
sad.
not pimping the right way. Kardashian, okay, Kim was of age. Everybody can make a bag off of it.
Oh yeah.
Mom, Ray J, and Kim for all time. As many times as it's bought, streamed, played, whatever
Yes.
it is with Vivid. But grown folks, this situation, a minor.
Yeah. It's unacceptable.
Minors.
Unacceptable. And what kills me on the R. Kelly thing, girl, like the parents were even like, "Oh well, we were scared that he was gonna burn our house down. He was gonna kill us. He was gonna." That man individually, he was not gonna do anything to y'all. He had people to do those things. So
He
y'all
had
scared of the
goons, right?
that
Goons to do it.
that, and then it's like, oh well, he was gonna pay off our debt. He was gonna. You're like mind blown. He was gonna pay off your debt. You have a child. You have a whole little human that you created, and you're telling me that your debt is more important than your child's safety.
Exactly.
Like, come on.
So unfortunate. It's really sad when you think about it and you really get to the nitty gritty of it. A lot of
Yeah.
parents are willing to sell their children out
And it's disgusting. Like,
for
for
dollars,
money,
for money.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's like money comes and goes, You got to hold on to things, but the things that are, most important. Yes, money's important,
exactly,
but your child is much more important, you know?
exactly. Now, going back to Michael a little bit, do you think
Hmm.
that any of the stuff they said that he was responsible for, do you think he was guilty? Did he touch children or whatever? How do you feel about that? And it's okay, guys. This is a safe space.
Yeah.
Like Dynasty Queens, let's talk about it. Let's
Yeah.
voice our opinions.
Yeah, because we don't have the answers. Nobody has the answers, except for
Non-biased though.
him.
If you answer, we're not biased. So
No.
how do you feel about that?
I mean, my honest opinion, I feel that it's almost like the R. Kelly thing. Yes, I do think that he did touch little boys. And I feel like that is an extension of the trauma that he went through as a little boy. So he is just acting on things that have happened to him in the past. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
And I feel like the same with R. Kelly. Like I feel like he was doing the same things, going through the motions that he went through and dealing with that. That's the way he dealt with his traumas, like reliving that stuff and putting that on other people. So yes, to answer your question, absolutely. He was touching little boys.
it's so hard to like just really think about it that way. It's like it's like, of course, with R. Kelly, we know,
Yeah.
like we really know, we have all the evidence and stuff. And then I always feel like with people like the Michaels, or even before, the way I felt with Bill Cosby before,
Mm-hmm.
I felt it was hoopla. I felt it wasn't all, as I don't know. But I watched the Showtime special
Yeah.
about Bill Cosby, and it changed my mind. Complete 360. Like it changed my mind.
Yeah.
Mainly because I watched the women getting interviewed, and I looked at their eyes and I looked at their body language, and I was like, this woman is not lying.
Right.
She would have nothing to gain really from lying about something. It's really embarrassing. The things and the situations that he put these women in.
Exactly. Like nobody
Just
wants to
elaborate
like
a little
make
bit.
that up. That's not something you want to just make up
Yeah, you don't want to
because
make
it
something like
happened to
that
you.
up. One girl said that she woke up, she was naked in his bed, and he was like, hey, you got to go. My wife is on the way. And she didn't even realize how she got in his bed. Because supposedly he would put Quaaludes in their drinks or whatever. Alcohol, regular drinks. And some people say, okay, well, these were women who were, in the nightlife or strippers, whatever it is. But it doesn't matter. No says no. No means no. If you say
Right.
no, that means That is just because you're at a party or you're invited to a celebrity's event
Right.
doesn't mean you want to get raped. It doesn't mean you want to have sex with that person. It doesn't mean that at all. It could
No.
mean you're there to have a good time. It could mean they said, hey, Cos, we thought you were pretty, or, conducted yourself well at this event. Hey, come back and spend some time with multiple different women. And
Yeah.
then he would kind of like select, okay, I want to scope this one out, target this one, like a predator.
Yeah.
I don't know. When you think about it, it's just so crazy because you're like, okay, why would somebody of his caliber need to be raping people?
That.
Why would someone of R. Kelly's caliber need to do what he did? Why would someone of Harvey Weinstein, all these men of power influence? Because it's not just black men. It's not just black men. Okay, I'm not here to bash black men. It's all these people of different races in the entertainment business, period. All of these men, right? And women who also facilitate stuff that is not consensual. We're not here debating, we're not judging people's lifestyle preferences or choices. We're talking about consent. That's it. That is it.
And it seems to be the hardest thing to deal with, and it shouldn't be. The simple thing. No means no. We learned that growing up when we were little bitty kids. No means no.
No. And it can't be more prevalent than when it comes to sex and relations with whatever. Wow. Consent is the only way. There is no other way. So if people ask, well, why are these men of power, why are they preying on women? Because it's not about, because of course you'd be like, man, Bill Cosby can get any woman he wants. Why would he need to do this? Why would he need to drug? It's not about that. When you have a predator mindset, it's a hunt. It's not about how many women you can get. Because you're not looking at this woman in a desirable way. You're looking at her to control her.
Yeah.
No, there's a difference.
It's sad.
That's how I feel. I don't know.
But what about you with good old MJ? Do you feel like he was definitely a predator, or do you feel like, what do you think?
Oh God, it's really hard for me, y'all. It's really hard for me to just sit here and be like, hey, Michael was just out there, I don't know. The music lover in me doesn't want to believe it.
Right. No, I get that. I totally.
You know what I mean? Like the fangirl in me doesn't want to believe it.
Right.
Because come on, he is a legend, right? So it's really hard sometimes to separate these artists from their personal lives. That's all I can say about it.
That's honestly how I felt about, of course, Grid, R. Kelly, we all knew things were, something was up. But the music,
that one, there was just so much evidence over the years, too, with the R. Kelly case.
Yeah.
Just so much over time. The young lady with the tape.
Yeah.
Then, stuff with Aaliyah even before that. People said he used to, hang out with middle schoolers at McDonald's after all just crazy, bizarre stuff.
Yeah, that's weird. That's weird. I don't know what the music
If there was a report today, because let's see, Aaliyah was about 14, right? Let's say who's someone who's popular right now? I don't know. Tory Lanez marries Blue Ivy Carter. This time next year. Think about it.
What a combination.
What? So why was nobody in the 90s? Why were they concerned about poor little Aaliyah? Who was, mind you, singing about age ain't nothing but a number at 13. And guess who wrote that song? Robert Kelly. Okay. As you get older, you just really start to process and look at things differently.
Yes.
You have to really look at the whole team around, production, the entourage, management, the label.
Yeah, they all knew.
The label. They had to listen to these songs before the CD cleared, right?
Yeah, of course. And
see, at this point, it's a morale. Everybody knew That is some bull
But
going on.
you know what the thing is too about that? I don't ever remember anybody coming out back when we were growing up, like in the '90s. I don't ever remember anybody just saying this is wrong. It was almost like a brainwashing situation, like Big Brother's watching and like putting out this material left and right, and we're just eating it up,
Yeah.
and nobody really was thinking like, well, why would she say that? Like now it's like I feel people are more woke, and it's just like people say things that, and now everything is so people are so sensitized to everything that people say nowadays. So any little thing that's like, wait, no, that's not right. Everybody holds on
Definitely.
to everybody's words now versus like back in the '90s. It's like, that's a good song.
The 90s were a free for all. I was watching a documentary about Dr. Dre and the guy that he started Interscope with the
Hmm.
other day. I was watching this on Hulu. And the focus was on gangster rap. There was politicians and senators and all these people like, oh, they're talking, all this smack, but nobody was listening to the R&B songs, really, because if you listen to the R&B songs, the way they exploited those teenage singers, like
Hmm.
it's so many songs. Like I said, you listen to Drew Hill or any of them, Aaliyah, any of those people that were underage
Hmm.
singing sex songs. I feel like they should have been more focused on that than the gangster rap. Because the
That,
gangster rap, these are real life gangsters who
yeah,
are grown
talking about
talking about
life.
what they do.
Yeah,
No one was listening to the R&B. I think that's so funny because they were really focused on rap and censorship.
and not
No
even
one was
looking
paying
at
attention to Aaliyah. Like that
crazy.
was just completely, that's so crazy to me. That's insane. But hey, that
And
was
you
the
know
era.
what? I
Imagine
wonder.
those folks now, the ones who were so mad at Tupac and them,
Hmm.
imagine them listening to Sexy Red. What are they going to say about that?
Like, what did she
Like,
just
that takes
say?
the cake.
Oh my god! But I was thinking too, like, if Aaliyah was still alive today,
Mm.
what would she have said? You know?
What would she have been?
Yeah, what would she have said about the whole thing? Would the R. Kelly series come out? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because she was honestly, if had she had just said something, it's a wrap. Like, none of those other women would have had to come forward. I don't think. You
You
know?
know what? Unfortunately, I feel like if you think about it, she was 22 when she passed away.
Mm.
Can you imagine how young that is? She wasn't ready, but I feel like she would have eventually said something, and I feel like she would have supported the documentary like full throttle,
Yeah, for sure.
like 100%.
Yes.
That's how I feel. And it's really sad and unfortunate. The whole story is sad.
Yeah,
The fact that she was taken advantage of by this grown man, and then the way she died, it's too much.
yeah, it is.
It's really crazy.
And her
But
mom
I
was
feel
not
I
an advocate for her either, like, because I think they had tried to reach out to her and she didn't want to talk. Like, what are you hiding?
exactly prime example of really pimping your child out. I feel like,
Mm-hmm.
and it went so wrong.
It did.
I feel the moral of the story is really like if you need to find out what your kids' interests are. If they want to pursue the entertainment industry, then support them. By all
Yeah,
means, support them. Make sure they have the right people around them, people that care about them, the right management,
yeah.
um, all of that. It really matters because a lot of these people are in it for the wrong reason. They don't
Mm-hmm.
care about the kid. They're in it for the money. So if
Like,
you're
they
a parent who
see,
really loves your child, that needs to be the primary focus is making sure they are taken care of. They have a village to support them.
they need some kind of, I'm sure they do have like a nonprofit or something that they have for, children that are coming up into the industry and like wanting to pursue these, passions and stuff. But, it just needs to be made more aware, especially even like I said, even the little kids nowadays, little influencers, like the one that apparently died, and then she resurfaced on social media of something about her dad had posted that she had passed away, like some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Like, even though they're
Yeah.
more independent, like I said, they're still not safe either, and they need support and protection as well. You know,
Definitely. I
so
so agree with you, girl. I
yeah,
so agree. You guys, thank you again so much
yes,
for listening and participating. Please drop in the comment section um, any stories you want to share about anybody that we left off the roster, celebrity, parent, child situation that either went really
Yeah.
well or really bad. Express your opinions. Let us know. We want to have a whole forum. We want to make the whole comment section a forum where we're
Yes.
talking to each other and, sharing ideas because this is a family. You know what I'm saying? So we love you
Agreed.
guys. Thank you so much for watching. And then once again, my name is Nia J in closing, and I have the beautiful.
Pamela and Nicole.
And until next time, guys, you are watching Dynasty
Dynasty
Queens.
Queens. Yeah.